10 games in, and there are real problems for the Chicago Cubs. This offense has looked pedestrian most of the time. The bullpen hasn't exactly been on fire. And there are now two starting pitchers who are on the IL. And we're only 10 games into the season, folks. This Cubs team should have been off to the races by starting off against the very bad Nationals and Angels. Instead, we're looking up at every team in the NL Central. And while it's too soon to push the panic button, it's not too early to have legitimate concerns. Ian Happ is either striking out or hitting a home run. PCA is actually doing a better job of laying off pitches blatantly out of the zone, but he hasn't shown any type of power yet. Matt Shaw doesn't look awful and right, but he ain't looking very comfortable out there either. In the infield, Alex Bregman already has a couple miscues defensively. He has hit the ball hard quite a bit and has shown a great eye at the plate, but I'm not sure how much impact he's had overall, though. Dansby and Nico are still elite defenders. Swanson has been off to a pretty crap start offensively, but Nico has been Nico on all sides of the ball. And Michael Busch started hot, but he's been irrelevant for most of the season so far. It seems like the best hitters thus far have been Miguel Amaya and Carson Kelly. Amaya has come through some clutch hits, and Carson has been hitting the ball better than his stats might indicate. But the bottom line is that the offense has been flat. There's no spark, no clutch hitting, way too many wasted opportunities. Now they are taking their walks, but they're hitting, at the time of this recording, 218 with runners in scoring position, folks. That's like having 9 Dansby Swansons on your team. Hopefully the return of Seiya Suzuki will add what's been missing to this offense. But up to this point, the Cubs' situational hitting, especially with runners on base, has been pretty embarrassing. I do believe, though, as bad as it's been, this is a group of hitters that can get hot and stay hot for long stretches at a time. Guys like Happ, PCA, Busch, and Seiya can carry the team seemingly on their own at certain points. So in a whole scheme of things, this is a pretty low concern for me right now. What is a concern is the bullpen. Hunter Harvey and Phil Maton have not looked good. Hobie Milner has looked better in his last couple outings. Danny Palencia has been on point. But can we end the Ben Brown experiment already? Jesus Christ, this guy is really starting to piss me off. He either throws a 55-foot pitch in the dirt or serves up batting practice fastballs down the middle of the plate. He's shown he's not a starter in the majors, and now he's shown he's just not a pitcher at this level. How many chances is this guy going to get? And I hate that argument, well, he's got good stuff. So? You know who else has good stuff? The majority of pitchers in Major League Baseball. Ben Brown ain't special. The switch for him hasn't flipped on. For every good outing he has, he follows it up with 3 or 4 shit shows in a row. As far as I'm concerned, send him to the minors. The next time he's brought up, it's going to be his final chance. But the biggest concern of all right now is the starting pitching, and I don't mean performance. Other than Matthew Boyd's opening day and Tyone today against the Rays, this rotation has been good. Edward Cabrera looks like he's on the verge of figuring it all out, but as of this recording, Boyd is going on the IL along with the one guy we were hoping would not have any injury scares, Cade Horton. Boyd's injury is worrisome, even though he and Craig Counsell are downplaying it right now, and tell me if you've heard that shit before. He's had arm issues and surgeries throughout his whole career, but after pitching last season with no problems, the WBC this year, and a strong outing in his last start, having him go on the IL seemingly out of nowhere makes the heart sink a little bit. And then there's Cade Horton. Be honest, you knew this day would come at some point. He's been a consistent injury concern since he's been drafted. But after having to be shut down last season, you were kind of hoping that another injury would not be coming up so quickly. Well, it has, and I have a feeling that it's just something that's going to plague him for his entire career. Maybe the Cubs shouldn't be giving out number 22 to pitchers. That's just a thought. And finally, above everything else, the Brewers are on a roll. Those fucking cheeseheads just won't die. The rest of the NL Central is playing above 500 baseball, including the Cardinals somehow. What should have been a gimme this year for the Cubs to start hot and run away with the division has started off in nightmare fashion. The question is, where will they be on Memorial Day? Is this piss poor start they're bumping the road for the season, or is this just what the 2026 Cubs really are? Time will tell, but honestly I was planning and hoping that my video after the 10 game mark would have been a lot more positive than what we've had. What do you think? Is it panic time? Shake it off? Or do you have legit concerns?
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
He gone!